Biomed, Nexus. Daily updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR President Trump signed a Section 232 proclamation on April 2nd, imposing a 100% tariff on imported, patented pharmaceutical products and active pharmaceutical ingredients. The tariffs take effect July 31st for 17 large companies and September 29 for all others. Companies with approved onshoring plans pay 20% instead of 100%. Companies with both onshoring plans and Most Favored Nation MFN pricing agreements with HHS pay 0% through January 20, 2029. 13 companies already have qualifying agreements in place. Generics, biosimilars, and their ingredients are entirely exempt. Products from the EU, Japan, South Korea, and Switzerland face a reduced 15% tariff under existing trade agreements. UK pharmaceutical exports are tariff-free under a new bilateral agreement. The White House fact sheet also referenced active Section 232 investigations into personal protective equipment, medical consumables, and medical equipment including devices. The medtech industry should expect to be next. Executive takeaway. This is the most consequential trade action to hit the pharmaceutical industry in modern history. The 100% tariff on patented pharmaceuticals and APIs imposed under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 is technically enormous, but the structure is designed to reward cooperation, not punish it. Companies that have already signed MFN pricing deals and committed to US onshoring pay nothing. Companies that are building US manufacturing pay 20%. Companies that have done neither face 100%. Generics and biosimilars are completely exempt. RBC Capital Markets wrote that the announcement removes a policy overhang and that almost every major drug maker cooperated. The practical impact on large pharma companies that have been engaging with the administration for the past year will be manageable. The companies exposed are mid-sized biotechs that import patented products and have not signed MFN agreements. The Mid-Sized Biotech Alliance of America is already lobbying against the tariffs, and PHRMA and Bio both opposed the action. The bigger signal is what this means for medtech. The same White House fact sheet referenced active Section 232 investigations into medical equipment and devices, PPE, and medical consumables. Needham analyst Mike Matson wrote that he expects the medical device investigation to eventually result in additional tariffs for the industry. That investigation was initiated September 2, 2025. With the pharma tariffs now finalized, medtech is the next sector in the queue. Read Full Analysis, What to Watch, Orforglipron, April 18th. 4 days. The biggest binary catalyst of the quarter. The tariff framework creates additional strategic importance. Lilly has committed to massive US manufacturing expansion and would qualify for favorable tariff treatment on Orforglipron production. MFN pricing. Sunset. The 0% tariff rate for companies with MFN plus onshoring agreements expires January 20, 2029. That is the end of the current presidential term. Any future administration could change the terms. Medical Device Section 232, the Commerce Department's investigation into medical equipment imports, was initiated September 2, 2025. The 270-day report deadline puts the earliest action in summer 2026. Advamed has been lobbying for exemptions, noting 70% of medical equipment used in the US is domestically manufactured. Mid-sized biotech exposure. Companies importing patented drugs without MFN agreements face 100% tariffs starting September 29th. Watch for a wave of smaller companies rushing to negotiate agreements with Commerce and HHS. Top story. Trump imposes 100% tariffs on patented pharmaceuticals under Section 232. What happened? President Trump signed a proclamation on April 2nd imposing 100% ad valorem tariffs on imported, patented pharmaceutical products, and active pharmaceutical ingredients under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. The Commerce Department investigation, initiated April 1, 2025, found that approximately 53% of patented pharmaceutical products and 85% of patented APIs by volume are produced outside the United States, constituting a national security threat. The structure. The tariff framework is tiered based on company behavior, 100% tariff baseline. For companies that have not negotiated onshoring or MFN pricing agreements, effective July 31st for 17 large companies listed in Annex 3rd and September 29 for all other companies. 20% tariff for companies with commerce-approved plans to onshore pharmaceutical production to the U.S. This rate escalates to 100% after 4 years, April 2, 2030, if onshoring is not completed. 0% tariff for companies with both approved onshoring plans and MFN pricing agreements with HHS. This exemption lasts through January 20, 2029. 13 companies already have qualifying agreements. 15% tariff for products from the EU, Japan, South Korea, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein under existing bilateral trade agreements. 0% tariff, UK. Under a new pharmaceutical agreement finalized the same day, UK drug exports enter the US tariff-free through at least January 2029. Exempt, generic pharmaceuticals, biosimilar products, and their associated ingredients. The Commerce Secretary will reassess this exemption in 1 year. Exempt, specialty, orphan drugs, cell and gene therapies, plasma-derived therapies, nuclear medicines, antibody drug conjugates, fertility treatments, and medical countermeasures qualify for 0% if from trade deal countries or meeting urgent public health needs. Executive impact. The White House cited approximately $400 billion in new U.S. pharmaceutical manufacturing investment commitments spurred by the Section 232 threat. For the 13 companies with existing MFN agreements, this changes nothing operationally. For mid-sized biotechs importing patented drugs without agreements, the September 29 deadline creates real urgency. BIO President John Crowley warned that tariffs on America's medicines will raise costs, impede domestic manufacturing, and delay the development of new treatments. Pharma also opposed the action. Lawsuits are considered possible, particularly from mid-sized companies. RBC Capital Markets took a more measured view, writing that the policy is designed to reward cooperation and removes the uncertainty that has hung over the sector since the investigation began. MedTech medical devices are next. Active Section 232 investigation signals. Coming tariffs. What's happening? The White House fact sheet accompanying the pharmaceutical tariffs explicitly referenced Section 232 investigations in adjacent sectors such as personal protective equipment, medical consumables, and medical equipment and devices. The Commerce Department initiated this investigation on September 2, 2025, covering surgical masks, syringes, catheters, pacemakers, insulin pumps, blood glucose monitors, imaging machines, and wheelchairs, among other products. The timeline. The Commerce Department has 270 days from initiation to deliver a report to the President, placing the deadline around late May 2026. After that, the President has 90 days to act. William Blair analyst Brandon Vasquez projected the earliest any action would go into effect is summer 2026. Needham analyst Mike Matson wrote that he expects the investigation to eventually result in additional tariffs for the industry, though Trump may take a similar approach as with pharmaceuticals and gradually increase tariffs over time. Executive impact. The pharmaceutical tariff structure offers a preview of what medtech companies should prepare for: tiered rates based on onshoring commitments, exemptions for companies that cooperate, and potential bilateral agreements with allied countries. AdvaMed CEO Scott Whitaker emphasized that 70% of medical equipment used in the US is domestically manufactured, arguing for exemptions. But the administration's pattern is clear: investigate, threaten, negotiate, then implement with exemptions for cooperators. Medtech companies should be engaging with commerce now, not waiting for the report. The week ahead, April 10th, Eli Lilly Orforglipron Target Action Date, Obesity NDA, CNPV. The single most important catalyst this week. April, Novo Nordisk Wegovy HD US launch continues. April, Heart Rhythm 2026 Conference, Medtronic, BSX, Abbott device showcases. Ongoing. Mid-sized biotech companies begin negotiating MFN pricing and onshoring agreements ahead of September 29th. Tariff deadline, late May 2026. Commerce Department Section 232 report on medical devices expected. Read full analysis Biomed Nexus Pro Institutional Intelligence Briefing. Today's Pro Brief, Section 232 deep dive, who's protected, who's exposed, and which companies face the most tariff risk, the MFN pricing leverage play. How the administration is using tariffs to force both pricing concessions and onshoring commitments simultaneously. MedTech Tariff Playbook. What the pharma tariff structure tells you about how device tariffs will be designed. Updated Catalyst Calendar. Upgrade to Pro. Today, read full article. Selective 2026. Sponsorship placements are available. Reply directly to discuss a partnership or submit an inquiry here.